Hello, welcome to Miemie's Keepsakes. I'm Arnell. I am back with Junk Journal July, and it's prompt 13, which is details, and 14 is torn. So I just wanted to show you before I begin my beautiful journal that I'm working in again. I bought this from Dagmar, and she is on YouTube, Dagmar Leonberg Swift, and on Instagram, Cookie1949. And I just wish you could touch the texture on here. She painted this flower on here, and it is just absolutely beautiful. Anyway, so let's get working on today's prompt. I'll just take that out. And so for details, I thought I want to do something that I actually saw Dagmar doing. She had photos on Instagram. So she did some stitching on black and white photos. So I'm gonna try to find something in this book. It's the family album, a personal selection from 4 generations of Churchills. And I just bought this book for all the beautiful black and white photos in here. So I am just looking for something that I can add some, that might be good, some detail to with stitching. I also saw this on, oh, look at that, on Studio Lou. Cindy from Studio Lou, she did something similar like this. Look at this beautiful photo. Oh, that is pretty too. Let's see how big my page is. Oh, sorry, I have the book probably right in front of the camera. Okay, the other thing that I brought out is this. Oh, there I dropped some of my things. I was thinking I want to use different colors today, so I picked this scrapbook paper, and maybe I'll go with this one because I think the papers will go better with this than the other one. The other one is a little too dainty. Okay, let's get started. So I am going to just cut this out and then back it on thicker paper. This is not very sturdy paper, and I need to be able to sew through it. So I am going to come back after I've cut it out and mounted it on maybe something thicker. Okay, so I backed my photo with some file folder, and then I just started doing some, maybe I'll bring it down a little bit, some stitches on my photo. So it's very easy to do. All you need to do is decide where you want what. So let's say I'll make another, and as you can see, there's no flowers in the trees here, but I'm just creating flowers. So let's say we'll make a flower over here, and I'm just poking my hole. So I'm poking a hole in the middle, and then just around it I'm going to poke, and be careful not to okay, that's not in the middle anymore. We'll make that the middle. Okay, so all you do for this flower is you come in, and in that middle hole put your needle in, and then I'm just going to go into those holes that I've poked. Need to keep that out of the way, and just back into the middle hole, and back into the middle hole and just keep working your way around the little holes that you've poked. And then you have this funny star-shaped flower. I missed a hole there, but I can just make a hole. Okay. So like I said, I saw these Dagmar made, she had photos I think on Instagram where she did some on those Tom Holtz family photos, I think. Okay, so there's one, and I can continue doing that. So, and then let's see the leaves. All I did with the leaves was a lazy daisy stitch. And so let's put a leaf in here, and you need 2 holes, poke 2 holes. So you start in one spot, one of the holes. And then I'm going back into that hole, flip the thread over because you want to catch that, and then on there. I hope you guys can see. It's very difficult to judge with the black and white background. And then there's your leaf, and then just poke another hole to catch that. And I will just keep doing that. So let's do another leaf. So you poke 2 holes, go in from bottom, make a little loop, and then you go back that first hole that you did just next to it, and then you go back into that second hole from the bottom. I hope this makes sense. If not, then you just catch it there with a second little hole. There's lots of great videos out there, and Pinterest if you want to see how to make these stitches. If you are not feeling comfortable sewing on your black and white photos or papers, you can always just use like metallic markers and fill in some detail, or watercolor paint, maybe something. The metallic ones might sit better on, you know, show up more on your black and white. Or if you use watercolors and you concentrate on the wider pieces of your photos to add that in. So let's do a French knot, and I'm thinking let's do some flowers here on her hat. I'm just gonna poke a couple of holes there, so you go in and you turn the thread around your needle. And again, I'm not trying to teach stitches here today. I'm just doing some detail on my photo. So if you want to, and I have all these threads left from what I did before, just because I'm trying to show you what I'm going to do. So anyway, there you're just going, and I find it, I'm just trying to show you how to add some detail with thread to your black and white photos. Anyway, one more French knot. You go in. I'm just gonna wrap it around 3 times. Go in just next door. Just, let's see, I went in too close and I tore the paper. So that can happen too. So oops, yeah. Now it's gonna keep happening. Okay, let's see if I get it in there. It's a messy French knot, but I'll just keep it there because that paper, maybe I'll just glue it back there so it stays out of her face. Anyway, so you'll just keep going, adding detail. I'm gonna keep going and come back because I don't want you to sit here for the next hour while I am making some stitches repetitively. And I'm getting it tangled up with all the threads that I left because I just wanted to show you a couple of stitches to add to your paper. Anyway, so I'll keep working on this, and then we'll come back and work on more details for the page. So I finished the photo. I added some leaves and more flowers up there, more French knots on her hat, and for her I just added one big stitch on there as a ribbon on her hat and a little flower on her lapel. So let's start working on the actual page for details. Obviously that was the detail part, and so I want this photo on here. It has a pocket in there, but I probably will have to ignore the pocket. And I'm thinking I might want to cut this photo just down a little bit, so I might lose that one little flower there. I think it's okay. Let's see if this is straight. That should be okay. Yeah, that's better. It doesn't feel as cramped on the page anymore. Okay, so let's bring in some papers, and this is scrapbook paper that I've had forever, so I have honestly no idea what company it is, what brand, any of that. So I'm just going to tear a frame for my photo. And because it's scrapbook paper, I'm trying to tear away from me. If you tear towards you, you'll get that white edge because it's just printed on top. If you like the white edge, obviously, then you tear towards yourself. Let's just tear that off too. Oh, okay. Didn't mean to do that, but it's okay. It looks okay. Okay, and I'm going to kind of bring it over so it will go onto my page that would be about torn. Now I don't want to cover that paper, but I'll just have to. So I'm going to glue this pocket shut because I do not need it here, and then maybe in here I'll just add some of my coffee dyed papers. These are available in my Etsy shop at the moment. If you do not want to do your own coffee dyeing, then you can buy it there. Okay. So let's glue stuff down. Glue. what have you guys been up to? We have been honestly not doing a lot, just buttering along. We are going away next week, so then we'll have some fun going to a wedding. So that will be a lot of fun. And maybe I will glue this onto this so I know the position. Yeah. Okay. And I'm just going to, I didn't do a lot of knots in here. I just kind of cut my thread when I was done, and I'm just adding a lot of glue on here to keep all the stitches in place. And all the, you see, like there, I didn't do knots. I just thought it might add some bulk, so that's why I'm adding so much glue on there where the stitches are. And I want that one there. Okay, so I'm going to have some glue bleeding out just because I added so much glue. It's all good. Okay. And then I'll add some glue on here. Okay, that is looking good. Now we'll just keep adding more details. Okay, and I have this. So for torn, I have a quote here, and I was thinking of tearing it in two, but now I'm thinking probably not. This beautiful paper, I almost don't want to cover it, but I'll have to. Okay, I won't cover it too much. There, it is torn. It's the quote says, "You may be broken, torn, frayed at every edge, but you're still a work of art." And then I have this paper that I wanted to add here. That's kind of, I wanted to tear some of the flowers. And of course you can always go in and add more. I don't think I want to totally. You can go in and add more stitching on the scrapbook paper as well. I think that, oh, wrong way. That would be a nice detail too. But I've already spent way too much time stitching today. It took a little longer than I thought it would. It's definitely a little longer than it would, or a bit more time consuming than when you are just sewing onto fabric for sure. Let's do it. Like this part doesn't have as much writing, so maybe I'll do this. Something, oh, 1928. I don't want to cover 1928 either. Okay, so I'll have to make sure I don't cover that. We'll have that there. Okay, glue. And because I have such a beautiful old ledger piece here, original in the back, my background is already pretty. Okay, let's just see where I want this. I don't want to cover 1928. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this down. Maybe I should fold it where I want it. Then it would just be easier to have it in the right spot. Okay, so I'm going to use art glitter glue to glue this on. Maybe I'm adding too much glue again. I'm gonna have that bit of, I'll have to lift that up, just that little bit of white there. Want to cover that bit of white. Okay. So let's see, what else can we add for more detail, because now we have our prompts detail, and for torn I have my quote here. I have a couple of other things that we can use as well on here. I have a doily sitting here, and I'm wondering if I just want it to kind of don't like that solid piece of it, but okay, maybe, let's see. And I have these flowers from, same thing, it's very old. I don't even know where I got this, but I'm not sure. I will add this, but let's see. Maybe I have this old piece of fabric left from my journal of stitchery the other day. That might look good in a little ruffle, but again, I almost don't want to I don't want to cover the fabric. I don't want to cover the beautiful ledger. maybe if I, but I don't want to cover it. Okay, I can always add a bit of this on here if I do want to add something like that. And I have these from somewhere as well, can't remember where, but and of course detail is, you can always have detail and you do mark making. I mean, anything you actually add is detail. I would say detail probably or mostly have the most impact when it kind of brings things together. You know, if you have, say for instance, you make a book about let's say the Queen, and you add birds, but you decide, I'm not just going to add regular birds, I'm going to look for a book about birds from Britain, you know, something like that. That is also details. You're paying attention to the details of your subject, of what you're doing. And then, like I say, details are all these little trinkets we keep adding to things. Oops, sorry. Obviously. So details can be a lot of things, but let's start gluing my details down because I need to finish this page. It's been quite a while for me since I started with this page. It's actually been a couple of hours since I started this morning working on these prompts. Yeah, it just always takes longer than you think. I don't want it to cover too much of that. Always takes longer. Okay, and then if I have this flower here, fabric tack is working today. Yay. It's not giving me any grief today. Okay. You need to stay there. And I'm wondering if I want another little flower in here. 3 is always a nice amount of anything to have. Okay, something like that, and then let's glue this down. And I kind of want this to just touch that paper a little bit. So yeah, after this, I need to go do some paperwork. Maybe that's why I keep playing with my paper, but with my page, because I don't want to go pay taxes and pay some bills, but I better go do that before it is too late. Okay, so I'm hoping that's gonna stick down with just the art glitter glue. Usually I would, if I have big metal accents like this, I use glossy accents to glue it down. It takes a little longer to dry, but it usually keeps it down really well. So I'm pretty happy. I still have a lot of this ledger, and look, I did lose, how did I manage that? 1928. Can I just kind of messily cut that out, because I don't think I'll be able to tear it. Okay, there's my 1928. I can see it. Very happy. So that is my spread today. It is torn and details. I hope you had fun. Please try stitching on paper. It is actually very, very fun, and I love the effect it gives and the texture. So thank you to Meg and Get Messy Art for hosting Junk Journal July. It's a lot of fun, and go watch and see what everybody else is doing. I will see you again soon. Bye.